Hey guys, this is Grubby. We're here at BlizzCon 2018 and I'm gonna do a freestyle vlog here. I don't have a script, but I do have some news. If you haven't been keeping up with things, BlizzCon and Blizzard just announced Warcraft 3 Remastered, and it's called Warcraft 3 Reforged. And I came out here to BlizzCon as a guest in the public eye, but it's because I couldn't say anything. I've actually been hosting the developers panel, which they got me out here for as well. And I've streamed some of the new Warcraft 3 content. And there's just so much going on right now. Like, I haven't eaten for 12 hours. I've been awake for 16, and I'm neither tired nor hungry, because the essence of Warcraft 3 is suffusing my being. Most of you will know that Warcraft 3 has been a very big part of my life. Streaming, competing, traveling, meeting people, and yeah, it's just this big red thread through my life actually. So to see that Blizzard not only was patching Warcraft 3 in 2018 with balance and quality of life improvements, but also actually making it part of a bigger whole and committing to longer term development, compatibility increases, graphical overhaul, and so on, has been very exciting indeed. And I'm glad that they finally shared the news with you guys, because feedback has to come out. Now, this is a vlog. I have interviewed 5 of the classic games guys on a 45 minutes panel, which you could see with a virtual ticket. If you do have the BlizzCon virtual ticket, you can probably watch and find the VOD somewhere. It was on the Mythic stage, a Warcraft 3 Reforged panel for which I was the host. So hope you'll enjoy that. We also had that short stream today, which was Friday the 2nd of November. Got to do a 1.5 hour stream in the play section of Warcraft 3 Reforged. So that was pretty cool as well. We had a few minor technical hitches. For example, if maybe you can go back one video on this channel, 1 or 2 or 3 videos, and you can see we have some of that gameplay content on the YouTube channel already, right here. It was a bit lower FPS than it should have been. These things happen at trade shows, and it's whatever. The big part here, really, the big story is Warcraft 3 Reforged is coming sometime in 2019. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is I have tried to ask so many questions to them officially, publicly, and also behind the scenes. I've given feedback, but no one can compare to the mass feedback that you guys, who are some of Warcraft 3's biggest fans as well, can compile together. So my first request and offering to you is, please go to the comments section of this video and leave me your thoughts, your feedback, the things you have liked from what you've seen so far, even though nothing may be final, the things you didn't like, and if not, please explain why. Let's have it be constructive, because a lot of things are still up in the air. And this Monday there will be a gathering of Warcraft 3 VIPs, high-level players, and streamers and so on, and we're going to be at the Blizzard office, so we're going to be able to translate some of that feedback. Well, I'm going to read the YouTube comments, and I'm going to, hopefully, if we get this out there on the YouTube on time, we're going to be able to take those and ask them to them. So the things you like, the things you don't like, and why, and the things you would like to see. And also, if you have any questions about things that you feel like may not have been answered yet, write them in the comments as well. I'm gonna scour the comments section for questions that I may not have thought of to ask them yet, and I need you guys for that. Then, once I have those questions, I'll try to get another vlog out there with more answers. Or, next time we stream, we talk about it with whatever feedback I got. I don't know if we can logistically get another vlog to you guys with answers in regards to that. And also, if you have questions that I already know the answer to, then I can definitely put it in the next vlog, like tomorrow on BlizzCon Day 2. So that's the first thing. Now, let's talk about some things that we know. I'm just gonna rattle off facts. Warcraft 3 Reforged is coming sometime in 2019. They're going to use several existing technologies of StarCraft Remaster that will be helpful to more quickly achieve technological advancements without having to completely rebuild something. The Warcraft 3 ladder system right now is better on BNet than what it was a year ago, but it may not be perfect. They're looking into new ELO systems, MMR systems, matchmaking systems. They're considering global play, cross-region play. They're considering maybe that you can queue up for 2v2 or 3v3 or 4v4 at the same time and find a match that you may, to find the quickest match in a format of your liking, for example. And so these things, I don't think any of them are sure, but they're thinking about it, and it would be useful at this point for you guys to let them know, yes, that's a function we care very deeply about, or maybe it can be done like this. Anyway, they're using StarCraft 1 technologies that were part of the remaster. They're also bringing Warcraft 3 Reforged and the Warcraft 3 family, therefore, over to the Battle.net launcher. So it'll be one of the buttons of all the other Blizzard games that you can play. Furthermore, let's see, crossplay will be totally compatible. Warcraft 3 game owners like us at this moment will be able to play against Warcraft 3 Reforged owners, so that's important to know. They think it's important to keep your stats, your account that you have now, and be able to levy that over to the new one. So that's a concern that people have brought to me already via stream or Twitter. Your stats, your profile will be maintained. So the graphics, I think personally, many of the graphics are very beautiful. For example, the new footman, the new rifleman, the new grunt. But when I play the game and I look at some of the units, there's a lot of things that work. Firstly, I don't recognize the units anymore, many of them. So if I look at them, I will be able to tell you it's a footman, yes. But when I play a game of multiplayer, I've got 15 years of muscle memory experience in recognizing footmen. They've got this white border around their shield. And so when I'm playing a ladder game and this human guy comes at me with footmen, I can instantly see 6 footmen. In the new one, that's different so far. And again, none of the graphics are final. So far, it's different. Although the footmen look more realistic and beautiful, they don't have that white border on the shield. So these are the things that I'll tell them where it's like, I don't recognize this footman and I don't know how long it's going to take me. Because muscle memory is something that is built up over years. I still sometimes make a spirit lodge for the spirit walker, even though he's been coming out of the totem for a long time, just because that's what I'm falling back on. That's how my brain's neurons have been working around what was my lifeblood for a very long time in terms of pro gaming. So these are things that will definitely take time to come to terms with sometimes. If they F it up, it's very possible that once I play Reforged, I'll just use the old graphics. But it's a challenge, right? Because as a streamer, YouTube content creator, if I use the old graphics, people that like the new stuff, they're going to feel like they don't recognize the way that I play the game. They're going to be like, well, that looks really old. So I want them to make it good. And I'm going to try and give as much feedback as I can to make it good. And I just hope that they really get there as well. Because as someone who loves Warcraft 3 in its current iteration, I don't need new graphics. What I need is that when there's a YouTube viewer or a Twitch viewer and he says, hey Grub, I'd like to get into Warcraft 3. How? I want to be able to not tell them, go to registry and add the regedit file where the hexadecimal code is 200 for the max FPS so that you can unthrottle your FPS to 200 and go to your shortcut and enter in the target native full screen so that you can have no mouse lag, and then go to Windows 10 Focus Assist and turn that off as well so that you can alt tab quickly. All these things are hopefully going to be remnants of the past, and it's just going to be really accessible, and that players who have never played Warcraft 3 can play it more easily and come into Warcraft 3. People that are returning that haven't played in a long time but would like to replay the new campaign, that they can feel like they easily find their place as well. That is what I'm most interested about. I didn't need new graphics. I think they're beautiful, what they've done with the art. I am personally a fan of the cartoony look of Warcraft 3. I think it's a large part of liking to look at it. And they said, the designers, they said they've considered a more cartoony look, but they didn't say it in so many words, but it's a Pixar world in terms of movies and games, so they wanted to go with a more gritty style. They call it stylized realism. So that looks to be the art style and direction that they're definitely going to be taking. I can't imagine that they would go in a different direction. So let's try to give feedback to make sure that that one is as good as possible, so that it becomes as relevant of a competitor to the current graphics that I like as well. That is my point of view about it. In terms of the audio, I've heard that they are redoing the voice acknowledgements. Zug zug, work complete. And our sacred grove is being desecrated, and those things. I don't really want them to touch those, but it seems like they are. So that's again something where I feel both intense excitement about the project and bringing more people into the fold and having more support for the game. And I also feel fear, because it's such a big part of my life, Warcraft 3, and I feel fearful for things that may not be popular, especially with the big backbone of people, you guys, who have essentially kept Warcraft 3 alive. And some people come to me and they say, thanks for keeping Warcraft 3 alive. And it's like, that's not me, that's you guys, because you guys like the game. Otherwise, I'd just be a guy playing Warcraft 3 in his attic, with no one watching. So you guys who have kept this game alive, and I am your willing vessel in that sense, do you guys want the new audio? That's, from what I could see in the Twitch chat during the stream, not necessarily. I mean, I like those old sounds, but then there's also the consideration when players from WoW come in, they're going to be used to their voice actors, because our Mal'Ganis sounds different than theirs, so they may like the new stuff. Plus, I haven't heard the new voice acting yet, so it would be purely defensive of what we have for me to say now, I don't like the new stuff, or I don't want it to change. It would be like being rooted in the present and the past, instead of being like, all right, let's see how that's like. Maybe it can be really fun and good when they come up with the new stuff. But I'm just putting it out here now. I am scared, because I saw that remastered Stratholme campaign mission, and I heard Mal'Ganis' voice and Arthas' voice. To me, they're perfection. And in fact, they sounded better now than in the original game, because although they may be getting new voice acting in, and it looks like that's going to be a done deal, they even did a passover with remastery on those voices, because they had those original sound files. They still have them. They're good, but they downscaled them in quality just to release the game. That's the kind of time they lived in. Same with the graphics. So, especially with the audio, they were able to just increase the quality, like in a what are they called? Like CSI Miami, enhance, blow it up. And so, I like those audios. So again, I hope that I can use the new stuff, but if I don't like the new stuff, I'm going to use the old voices most likely, which, as I understand, will be a possibility. The best things for me are launcher integration, new graphics if they work for fidelity, and having better Battle.net support, having hopefully more rise to new esports as well, surrounding Warcraft 3, just having people be able to play the game. There's a lot to be said about the custom map editor, the world editor. I've never world edited, but I know it's a really big part of the lifeblood of the game. And the questions around this have been answered thoroughly as well on the panel. If you used only Blizzard assets in making your original map, chances are really good that in Reforged, those will still work. But sometimes people did janky things. They did things like, I don't know, like I guess you could say hacking the way the editor works. That's probably not going to translate well to Reforged. So work will need to be done to update those maps. And I just hope that if people make that effort to update maps and bring them out in Reforged, they're going to enjoy, what I understand, is the new functionalities that the world editor is going to be able to offer. UI. Maybe you've seen the new UI. If not, go back to my previous YouTube video on Warcraft 3 with the gameplay, and you've seen that UI. It's more minimalistic. When it comes down to it, a big UI has a number of issues. Like it takes up a lot of the screen, so there'll be less battlefield. Furthermore, because it was not changeable, modular, editable, anytime people did custom apps that may not necessarily need such a big UI, it was a stumble block. So what I understand from them now is that the UI is modular, that they at least can move things around. In the editor, you'll probably be able to move things around, like minimap here and command card there and so on. Just like essentially you can do now in World of Warcraft, with or without add-ons. So that would be very nice. And I don't think they've settled on one look yet for the multiplayer and melee UI, or whether your UI when we play multiplayer can be different from mine, or if they will settle on one unified look. There's always pros and cons. If you give one look to everyone, there will always be people unhappy that it's not the way that they want it to be. But if you give full customizability, then it will raise the thresholds of skill and knowledge that you need to have in order to achieve the perfect UI. Also, one UI will probably be better than another one when it comes to being able to min-max the highest level of play for multiplayer. So when it comes to that kind of customizability, or for example, should you allow players in multiplayer to zoom out at will? On W3 Arena, people could not do that. On NetEase, they can. And of course, there was a hack as well in the West where people would zoom out, basically hacking the game file, which wasn't allowed, but they did it anyway. You can see more of the map. Should that be a function that they put in? I don't know. Like, my thoughts right now is no. I think everyone should have the same zoom level. But in NetEase, it seems accepted that you can. So there's so many different interests, and it's going to be their job to filter everyone's feedback regarding that. There's so much more to talk about, but this video has been going for long. Hopefully we'll be able to make many more, or several more. But at the very least, I'm going to take those questions that you guys are going to put in comments, and I'm either going to come in and answer them myself in the comment section, or I'm going to have a chance to ask them to them, and then hopefully answer them for you. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe as always, and I'll read those comments in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you are as excited about Warcraft's future as I am. Have a good night. Bye.